Hello my friends. Well, I'm going to share with you a gardening tip you're not going to want to miss, and I think there's probably going to be a few gardeners out there get a little bit upset that I'm sharing this with you as we're kind of stepping in their territory, but hey, I'll take the heat. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you to grow more food and plant abundance in your life, and so gosh darn it, that's what we're going to do on this channel. So without further ado, let's jump right into the tip of the day. Well, it's that time of year again. Many gardeners like myself like to head out to our local nursery, see if there's anything new, what's available, pick up a few new plants to plug into the garden. And while you're there doing that, I'm going to share with you a tip that's going to save you quite a few bucks. And this tip mainly has to do with vegetable starts. So you can see I've got a cute little pepper plant here, but there's something wrong as far as I can see with this plant. You know what that is? Take a guess. Well, I'll tell you. There's just one little plant in here, and I paid a pretty penny for that little plant. However, while I was looking through the zucchini section, I came across this little fella here, and check it out. We've got 3 plants in one pot. So 3 plants for the price of 1, and that, my friends, is a real deal, a true bargain. And I did have to hunt around and find one that had several plants growing in it, but usually I can find at least 1. All right, Dan, well, that's great, but how are you going to separate those plants? I mean, when you try to pull them apart, aren't you just going to destroy the roots and kill back the plant? Yes, that can quite possibly happen, and that's why we're going to gently separate these plants, and we're going to use a little bit of H2O to do that. So first things first, we'll take the plants out of the pot, and as you can see, these roots are all mingled together. So it looks like it's going to be almost impossible to separate these, but let me show you how I do it. So I'm just going to use this container to make it easy for you to see. We're going to use this water and take the soil away. Just kind of gently tapping around the root ball here, just getting all that soil off. Water a plant with this here. And keep going. A little bit of water pressure will help to blast away the soil. So just kind of jiggle this around in the water. And again, we'll just water some plants with that there. And now this is where the real trick is. You just want to jiggle these plants around gently and grab it towards the base. You want to try to avoid any ripping sound or feel. You may have a little bit of tearing, but that's going to be okay. And you just want to gently finesse these plants apart. Take your time. Can feel it separating. It's almost like magic. There we go. So there's our first plant with a nice healthy root mass on there. We'll set that aside and continue. Oh, that one's coming right apart. There we go. And just like that, we've got 3 plants with healthy root systems for the price of 1. You do realize that by sharing this tip, I now have created some competition for myself and others out there. But that's okay, because if you utilize this tip, it helps you to save some money and you're able to grow some more food for you and your family. Well, that makes my day. I'm happy about that. And now you can up pot these plants into a larger pot and grow them out that way, or just plug them right into the ground, which is what I'm going to do. This little spot in front of the fruit tree gets plenty of sun. And keep in mind, you can also do this for the seedlings you're starting at home as well. A lot of people will cut back several of the plants and just leave the strongest plant to continue to mature in the pot. But hey, if you want to take advantage of all those different seedlings that have sprouted, you can do this at home. And I am going to be sprinkling a little bit of mycorrhizal inoculant around the roots of the plant and in the hole. This is of course going to create vigorous root development on this plant, give it lots of strength throughout the growing season, help to extend its roots so that it can uptake nutrients and water from a distance. And it's also going to reduce the transplant shock. And just in case you missed my last video upload on the channel, I went into great detail all about using this mycorrhizal inoculant. I'll drop a link below in the description box so you can go check it out. Beautiful. Now I'll just add a little bit of mulch, some straw here around the plant just to help keep that soil protected so it doesn't dry out. And we'll water this in really well. Just saturate the plant, get rid of all the air gaps. And of course I got the chickens nearby here observing me, seeing if I'm stirring up any bugs for their little evening meal before they go up to roost. And because this is a young plant that hasn't yet established a nice deep root system, I want to protect it from the chickens. And I can easily accomplish that by putting over the plant one of these handy dandy plant protection cages I made out of some concrete reinforcement wire with some chicken wire wrapped around it. I get this in a roll, I think it's a 100 feet roll by 5 feet in height. I use it to make tomato cages and plant protection cages. I got a whole bunch of these. In the off season, I just put it against the back of the fence line, but you can see throughout my garden. There's another one back over there. I've got one over there wrapped in some plastic as well. It's a little mini greenhouse situation. But that will keep the ladies from coming over. Just out of curiosity, mainly, they'll come over and maybe scratch around here while the plant is just newly planted. I don't want to risk any damage. A couple weeks from now, actually when the leaves start to touch the edge of the cage, I'll remove the cage and it'll be good to go. Matilda Jean taking a dust bath in her favorite spot under the ceanothus shrub. Well, I've still got those other 2 zucchinis now to plug into the garden this evening before the sun goes down. The evening time is the best time to transplant your plants into the garden. It reduces shock as the sun's headed down. They have all night to heal in before the next day's sunrise emerges, at which point you may even want to put a little bit of shade cloth over your transplants for a day or two, depending on how hot it gets and how much sun you get in your area. Well, that's going to do it for today, my friends. Hopefully I offered you a bit of value for your time. I sure do appreciate you tuning in. So with that, have yourself a great rest of the evening. Until next time, this is Dan from plantabundance.com. Take care. I'll be talking to you again soon.